Andersen.
Alright, you guys, been a while since you saw this thing, right? Just kidding. Hopefully you guys enjoyed last week's manual swap series on Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and welcome back to channel Andersen. We are diving into an issue that arrived when we completed the swap, basically. It's when I noticed it happening. So as the title is probably giving you a clue of some kind, we are diving into an electronic issue or electrical issue, and I think it may be the rear SAM, and I'll show you guys why here in a second. But I have been through all kinds of stuff, but let me explain just to give you guys a little preface of kind of what I noticed, what's been going on, etc. So this started after we completed the swap. I immediately noticed when we were pulling it out of the garage, and you can see in the clip from episode 3 or part 3 of the manual swap series that our brake lights were not coming on. The running lights were, but no stop lights and no turn signals. The only thing we got was like a little blip of the third brake light up there for a second when I was backing it out. The other thing is radio wasn't working, and the front left turn signal is not coming on. I swapped the bulbs on those, and it's not the bulb, it's the actual turn signal itself. There were a couple other things like the right side marker, but that just has a blown bulb, so that shouldn't be involved in this. But no volume from the radio as well, and then no control over the rear shade here. And then the weird thing is the key fob had been working fine the whole time, and then all of a sudden the key fob started not working. It was able to unlock, lock, no problem. And then there was a few times where I had to like go close to the door again and it would work, and then it went back to normal. And then there was just a series of weird events, which I'll try to explain here, but I should have been recording. It was just one of those times where it was kind of like frantic mode of trying to figure out all these little possible rabbit holes that could be causing these issues. And I just wasn't recording. I was busy trying to solve what was going on. So basically what I've tried so far, I unplugged the ECU, unplugged the battery for a while just to kind of reset things after the key fob started not working, and plugged those back in, then the key fob started working again. So I was like, okay, well, maybe it just needed to reset. Then I wanted to make sure that the grounds that I made when we did the swap and everything were good, because I have a brand new ground that I made at the transmission. That's a big one. Then there's a couple in the engine bay that we just reuse the factory ones, but I redid those. I added a thicker one on the power steering pump, and then I added an additional one by the transmission, just to rule out the possibility that maybe it was being grounded out on the anodized metal from the Creative Steel trans mount. Just wanted to eliminate that variable. So that didn't change anything, and actually when I put the battery back on, the key stopped working again. So super weird. Then I decided to hop into DOS. Wasn't getting any real like faults that would say telltale sign of either one of the SAMs. They were communicating fine, but the actuations would not work. When I would try to actuate the brake lights from the rear SAM or anything else like that, they would not work. All the lights that do work right now would actuate just fine. So the radio as well and the rear shade, those things would not actuate like normal in DOS. So after that, I figured, okay, let's try the voltage issue. And also shout out to Josh and James, Mercedes Swap Shop, for helping me try to figure this out. And to our C55, C32 group chat people been trying to help me out. I hopped on the phone with James Smith from Mercedes Swap Shop as Josh's partner. And we were trying to just put our heads together about it, and decided to test the voltage. So I had the battery on the charger all night, make sure that was good. And then that volt checked just fine. And then I started the car, ran it, and then took the cables off of the battery to test the voltage coming back from the alternator. That was totally fine. So voltage system checks out. So basically just, I guess the rule of thumb with electrical system issues, which I'm still very much new at, admittedly, what I'm trying to get better at it. And I feel like ever since I said that out loud to the universe, it has challenged me with certain things, but it's okay. I'm learning. But basically rule of thumb is like, for me at least, I don't know if this is a rule of thumb of all electrical things, but I just try to eliminate as many variables as I can, kind of one by one, and start with kind of the least work, options, or least in-depth options, I guess, whatever you want to call it. Things that you can do quickly. So, you know, checking the voltage is easy, quick. Just hopping on DOS, checking all the systems is easy, quick. You don't have to get dirty, do nothing. You just plug things in, that's it. Then I started checking a few wires underneath the driver's side footwell to see if we could find anything there, just to make sure, like when I was putting the pedals in, I didn't hit any of the wires or scrape one of them, cut one, whatever else. So that's all gone, you know, for the most part. The first smoking gun that I found is back here. And if you can see that, we have, try to get this in a spot where you are not blocked out by the light, but right there, we have a weird, looks like water spot or corrosion that has seeped through the board. And the bottom right there too, as well. You can kind of tell it's kind of faded over there. Now, some of the solder on the bottom right kind of looks a little off as well, compared to, like, if you look at the top. I don't know how well you guys will be able to see this on camera, but nice and shiny on top, and then the bottom right, it gets kind of gradually, you know, a little more white corrosion on there. So that's just the back side of the board. Now we need to see the other side of the board. So what I'm going to do now is get this off. This bracket, I think you just pop this up, and then you basically twist this to the right, and the SAM should be able to come out. Obviously, I'll have to undo all my connectors. I already took this plate off, which is just connected with little clips on here, which is typical for Mercedes on these things. So that is my job right now. I'm gonna try to get this out of here and see if we got any smoking guns on the board. Other details for you is the car still runs and drives absolutely fine. Starts up no problem every time. And the other strange thing is we never had any fuses popped, and I can hear all the relays clicking on when they're supposed to. The brake light switch is working as it's supposed to. I tested that in DOS and with the little launch scanner. When I press the pedal, the brake pressure switch, because these don't have the typical like little plunger brake switch on the pedal itself, they're all electronic. So that's working fine. I can hear the pressure sensor click, the relay every time I press the pedal. So yeah, just other weird scenario, I guess, that it didn't pop any fuses, do anything. It just literally looks like it lost communication because of potentially what's going on here. So I'm gonna pull this out. Sorry that was a lengthy intro, but it probably would have been just as lengthy if I had filmed all of what I have tried in the last few days trying to figure this out. So that was a breathful, but let's go ahead and pull that thing out and see what we find. All right, so I literally just popped all these up. Oops, there goes the light, but popped all those up, and now this thing is free to wiggle from there. So I need two hands to do this, but I'm gonna hold this up, and then it basically is gonna twist to the right, and then you're able to pop it off this little bottom tab that it's in. So let me do that real quick, see if I can keep the camera on this for you guys. Let's put our light back. This light, I swear, it's giving me so many headaches, but I still use it. I'm sure you guys all have tools like that, where it's like, you know, they're not the best ones, but you just keep using them. All right, let's see. Okay, there we go. Okay, so there it is. So now it comes down to me undoing all the connectors on here. So let me do that real quick, and I'll check back with you guys. All right, guys, it is out and unplugged. All of it's pretty straightforward, easy to get to all the plugs, so nothing crazy. However, I did find one thing that I didn't check before because I didn't think this was anything. I thought this was a spare fuse holder, to be honest, but it's actually a power bank terminal, and this fuse actually looks like it has a good bit of corrosion on the connectors here, and the actual terminal, I don't think you guys will be able to see that, but the terminal actually looks like it has corrosion on it too. And that one, when looking at our little map over here, is actually responsible. There's a couple spots where 20, it's number 20 on the rear SAM. Power socket, and the rear sunshade. So I don't see anywhere else that it's associated with, but yeah, that's who knows, could be a possibility. But if that thing has corrosion on it, that just means we need to open this thing up further so we can check what else possibly has corrosion on it. So let's go ahead and do this. I am going to make a video right here for myself so I can see where everything goes, and I'll take a picture on my phone real quick. I also have the diagram, so it's not that big a deal. I pretty much replaced every fuse on here besides a couple at the top that were pretty new, and I don't think any of the relays are the culprits too. So I don't know if this board will come out if I just undo these looks like T15s probably. I'll probably need to pull the relays and the fuses, and then it might come off, hopefully, without taking this whole plastic thing apart, but we'll see, I guess. All right, guys, pulling all the fuses out. That is for the fuel pump, and that has some corrosion in there. When I was doing the test fire on this thing, I first pulled the fuel pump so I could build up pressure, and it's kind of funny because I pulled that, plugged it back in, and that potentially could have been where all the issues started, because maybe I disrupted whatever remaining connection there was or something, I don't know. But just strange, because I'm pretty sure I had all my hazard lights and brake lights before the car was down for all the swap stuff. But anyways, keep going. All right, guys, got all of the relays and fuses out, as well as all of the T10s on the top here. It does look like I'm gonna have to pull this top part off to get the board out. So they're all T10s, I believe. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 on the board itself, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 on the top side here. And then from here, I think it just looks like basically just use flat blade and pop off all the little connections and work this thing up. So also, by the way, there's part number in case anyone wants to try to use that for something. 203 is cool because you can swap them between different engine drivetrain combinations. For the most part, you just have to find a similar year, like pre-facelift versus facelift, and most of them are cross compatible, and they don't require any programming to reset them compared to other chassis, which sometimes do. Probably has to do with the fact that these cars don't have a central gateway on them. Just the way they operate is a bit different than some of the other chassis, so kind of a bonus with these. So anyways, let me try to get this off. Well, guys, got this thing off, and to be honest, it is a pain to get off. I guess it wasn't that bad once I figured it out, but you have to basically so all of these plugs right here are wedged in here, like that, yeah. And you have to pull these up while also GoPro died. What else is new? So you have to pop these up at the same time you're pulling this down. So that is how you get that off. But anyways, we found the issue, guys. See that chip right there with a hole blown through it? That is not supposed to be there. There was smoke, or not smoke, but like remnants of smoke, ash, I guess you would call it, on top of this chip. I was looking at everything. I was like, no corrosion, doesn't look too bad. Everything's looking okay. And then found that with all the ash on it and wiped it off and found that hole. What the heck caused that? Who the heck knows? But safe to say this one is done for. If I wanted to, I could solder this chip. It's not that hard. I'm decent at soldering, but it's just not worth it in this case. I'll go pick up a spare unit, probably from Pick and Pull, maybe even in this video. So I'd like to get this thing solved sooner than later because it was so much fun. I got it running and driving, and then can't really drive safely without working brake lights. So yeah, let's get that done so we can enjoy this thing. All right, you guys, it is the next day. It's absolutely beautiful out, and I'm taking a quick pit stop with the family. Thank you for them joining me over to Arlington to the pick and pull to try to grab a couple rear SAM units. All right, Maze is taking over now.
So we are going to the safe port right now, but first I need to dip my shoulder. I just need to dip my shoulder right now. And your safe board.
Oh.
And then safe board.
Thank you. All right.
Now wind up my shoulder.
Okay, I'll get your gear.
Okay, now
All right, guys, pit stop for gas, regular thing on a little road trip, but if you're a triple OG of the channel, you've seen this gas station probably 3-4 times on junkyard runs. Most likely I was driving the C55 or E420 or whatever else, but yeah, gas price $4.89. That's kind of high right now for Washington. I've been seeing it around like $4.2, but we'll take it. All good. All right, guys, we're here. Wish me luck. See if we find anything good. Thank you to my fam coming with me. See what we can get. All right, we've made it. Corvair for sale. Things are dope. I like those. Maybe not yellow. Okay, let me see what rows we got and start checking. Well, strike one, unfortunately. Let's keep going. Another C320 right here. This one's not looking good, to be honest, as far as corrosion goes, but might be worth pulling. Alright, guys, made it to the last one. This is C230. I think it's a 05. Full of all kinds of stuff. Transmission in the trunk. I don't understand why people do these things. I guess they're just trying to... Wait, is that a 5-speed? Hold up. I need to check that out. I don't know what that is. That looks like a Mercedes 5-speed, possibly. Anyways, well, the SAM is here, so let me get that out first. Alright, you guys, luck of the draw. The GoPro died, of course, but correct part number, and this one actually looks in a lot better shape than the other one, so I'm probably going to throw the other one back since it's not the right part number and didn't look too good, but yeah, fingers crossed. Alright, yeah, this one was out of an early, like a 2001, and I just took the back plate off. It's got the same corrosion that we had, so that is staying here. Alright, guys, quick view of some other stuff that I saw while I was walking in. There's an old, it's like a 240 maybe, or 300D. Take a quick look inside. Classy, a little rough. Still solid with the door clunk though. And this thing is over here as well. Look at that interior, still in good shape. No cracks on the dash. And the door. Good old diesel. Alright, I'm gonna check those other cars since I did this pretty quick. See if I get lucky and find some rubber floor mats. That would be sick, but otherwise we'll take off. Alright, guys, a whole while later, we are back and finally ready to, I don't know, give it a shot. With stuff like this, I never like get too hopeful because it can be complicated, and it's been complicated already, but hey, this thing seems like it's in better shape than what we pulled out of the car. Hopefully it doesn't have any holes burnt through any chips internally. I'm not going to pull it apart. It's just not worth doing that. I'm just going to try to clean it up a bit, get all the relays that I have in, fuses, etc., and send it. And hopefully we got a solution. Guys, this thing is all locked and loaded. Went through everything with a brass brush and electronics cleaner to just make sure everything's nice and fresh. I'm gonna go ahead and start plugging away on our plugs here, and I'm not gonna set this back in the car fully, so this might take me a second. Alright guys, I think we are all plugged in. Couldn't remember if there was a connector for every single one of these, but I guess not. So that should be good. Double, triple check. There's no other connectors down here I'm forgetting about. Yeah, should be good. So battery has been off, so I'm gonna go plug that in, and that should kind of spell the moment of truth. So hopefully we're good to go. Oh, that's what I was looking for. Wanted to double check one of the fuses on here. The power bank fuse. I want to make sure it's supposed to be a 15 amp, 20. Yes, 20. Okay, that is 15 amp. All right, so I'm gonna leave this right here and set it. Yeah, it's on the carpet and plastic, so just in case for whatever reason, should be okay. But not much else to do. I think we just put the battery on. All right, fingers crossed, guys. This is scary. Well, we got no key. Do we have anything? Yes, we have power to the car. We have running lights. Oh my God, we have turn signals. Thank the heavens. Okay, that's one good sign at least. Oh my God, we actually have turn signals. Okay. How about brake lights? Yes! We have freaking brake lights. Okay, we still got no front turn signal. And the key fob still not working. Okay, this is at least good news though. We got brake lights and we got turn signals. Okay, I can try unplugging ECU and then plugging it back in, see if we get our key fob back, but not sure. All right guys, no key fob still. Let me try unplugging the ECU. Like I said, that is strange. We got some stuff fixed, but may have other things going on. There also might be a reset sequence on this thing. I don't know. I think it would have come alive though. If all the other stuff is working, it should have come alive. Anyways, let me try that. All right, you guys, what is going on? It is next night, I believe, or a few nights later from the last time I saw you guys, but great things have been achieved in this video. We got our rear SAM replaced and functioning, brake lights, hazard lights in the back, turn signals, etc. Our key fob, by the silly mistake of having bad batteries, is now fixed. The only issues remaining are the front left turn signal, which I'm kind of scratching my head about right now, to be honest, and then no volume from the radio. So turn signal, I don't know exactly what's going to be the issue there. Fuses, I'll check out, all that stuff is good. So I'm moving on to one possibility why there might not be any sound, which is the amplifier. This is a spare one that somehow I've held on to all these years later since I have ripped this out of the silver C55 when I did a bunch of wiring delete on that car because I don't have a radio in that car anyways. This was functioning properly when I pulled it, so I figured, hey, it's worth a shot. This is easy to replace. So I'm gonna try. I took out the whole bracket when I did it, but I think you can just take off these nuts here and it should be able to come off of this bracket, and that should make it really easy to swap out real quick. So these look like maybe 8 or 9 mils, and 4 of them, 2 plugs, and I'll be able to get the stock one off. It's hard to tell what this looks like as of right now, but we'll see. Maybe when we pop it out, we can pop it open and see if we find anything, because in reality, if for some reason the fiber optic system is bad, I don't know, I'll probably do something different with everything anyway, so we'll see. All right guys, old amplifier is out. Honestly, looks no different from what I can see from what I'm swapping in. Random weird object found, number, I don't know, 5 or so on this car. Hilton shoehorn tucked back there somehow underneath the carpet. Such a weird object to find back there. But anyways, I'm gonna plug this in. I'm not gonna zip it on yet. I'm gonna plug it in and see if we get volume. All right guys, well honestly this is an absolute shot in the dark, but it's a very easy and free shot in the dark, so why not take it? And let's just take a chance. Why not? Power this thing on. This is really nice, by the way, compared to the old style units with the peeling front plastic like mine had on it when I first had it. This is a big upgrade. All right, and yeah, that didn't work. It was a shot in the dark. So next thing to check would be behind the radio. I think I did see some splices underneath when I was taking a look back there. I could try the aux. There is, let's check this actually, because there is a little cable over here for an iPhone. Let me see what happens. Let me try this out real quick. Okay, yeah, that did not work. My phone literally said device not supported, so maybe too archaic for the phone, but I don't know what else this could be, guys. There used to be, like, when my stereo, sometimes it would lose volume or get like really staticky, and I'd be able to pull a fuse from the front, but I already replaced said fuse, so not really sure what I could try there, besides it just being a wire somewhere that could be pinched or not working. But the previous owner did tell me that he never had the radio working on it, so it's obviously been an issue for some time. So what that is or what that could be, don't know, but at least it looks pretty. Here's a fun one for you guys. Command navigation CD. Let's try to see if navigation still pops on. Oh no, cannot read. Come on. I wasn't saying that before. Come on now. Gotta be able to read it. Actually, I don't know if it was saying that before because I didn't try to press the nav button. This thing does look pretty dirty. Let me clean this off real quick. Alright, by cleaning it off, of course I meant fogging it up with my breath and wiping it off my shirt. Aren't you a 90s kid? Yeah, no luck. Alright, well, I guess I'll have to look up common faults for these things. It did have a code when I was looking in Star DOS, and it's basically just like D100 or something like that, which I think was just like a loss of something. So anyways, it kicks on great, it looks great, it just doesn't work great. Can still scan through stations. Wait. Do I hear? Almost sound like I heard like popping. Let's try to go to a station that I know is a station. I wonder if these things like fail themselves, like the buttons or something on them, because I know in my C36 it does that, where the volume knob, you have to like hold it down or up and twist a certain way to get it to actually work or respond. I wonder if these things had issues with like failing, you know, individual components. But these seem a little higher quality than that, but could be, I don't know. These last two issues, guys, might have to wait for a future video. Alright, you guys, another thing that wasn't working before with the SAM was our sunroof. It is working now, but definitely needs to be greased and cleaned. It looks like somebody had this open a lot over in Texas in some part of this car's life, and it collected lots of debris. So I'm gonna wipe off this top side and re-grease. Alright guys, well, don't hurt me. My white lithium grease was not working, so just use regular grease, which is actually kind of close to the consistency of the Mercedes factory sunroof grease, but both of those are nice and greased up now. So let's go slide this thing back and forth a few times. See if our operation smooths up a little bit. I gotta get in those tracks a little bit more. Alright guys, got it into the channels a little more there. Let's see if on that side. It's got gooped up, but let's try this. Yeah. Okay, this side's got too much over here. Alright, in reality, I'm probably never going to be using this thing anyways, but at least it's good. And looks okay on the seal too, so that's good. Leave it alone. What's going on, you guys? Sorry I didn't close out this video with the cars, but ran out of time for you guys here. Ending off, I think I figured out what the headlight problem is. It looks like the wiring has degraded internally, which is kind of a known problem on the C55s or the 209 headlight assemblies, especially the bi-xenons that get pretty hot inside of there. So they're pretty shot as is. I'm gonna try to pull them off at some point and try to rebuild them. See if I can, and if not, I'll have to try to swap out for some aftermarket ones or see if I can find a good used driver's side assembly. But besides that, I'm super happy we figured out what was going on with the bad rear SAM. That's a huge weight off my shoulders, and just being able to drive the car now so we can start kind of going through the rest of things, making sure it's sorted. I had to bleed the clutch again. That'll be in another video on Wednesday, and I've been doing a few other things. So Mostly this video was just for solving the electrical gremlins. Hopefully it'll help you guys that are watching this video if you randomly stumbled upon, you know, this because your 203 or 209 or some Mercedes is having an issue related to SAM modules or just electrical gremlins. Try to sort through them patiently, try to get a proper scan tool. I will link the launch scanner that I use below. And if you're interested in getting one of the Star DOS setups from Mercedes Swap Shop, let me know or reach out to Josh directly. But yeah, that's about it. Thank you guys for watching. I will catch you on the next one. Peace.